Hi, I'm Marsh from StrataGames. I'm planning on participating in the Super Qualifier for Pauper tomorrow. I usually naturally acquire a bunch of qualifier points as I play leagues and things like that to put up videos, but I realized I was a little short this month. I only have 33 points. And you need 40 to participate, which means we need 7 more. So my goal today is to get those 7 points. Now, ideally, we can get that with 1 trophy and 1 4-1. Just playing 2 leagues, and we can get it pretty quick. But if we can't get a trophy, it's going to take 3 4-1s and a 3-2 at best, if not 7 3-2s, which would just be unfortunate. So I have a few hours now, 4 to 6 hours if I really want to push it, to try to get these 7 points. So we're just going to be playing fast, consistent decks to try to get the points as quickly as possible. To that end, I'm starting with White Heroic. I think this is the best chance to high roll and maybe just get a trophy because people don't always have the cards to be able to interact with us very quickly. If they stumble, we can really take advantage of that. So if we're going to go for that 2-league win, this is kind of how we want to do that. And then if I get bored with this, / if we don't high roll and I want to shift to something else, I might go to Red Rally as another consistent fast deck. So this video right now could be 2 leagues or it could be 7 leagues, ideally closer to the 2 side. You probably know how Mono White Heroic works, and there's no time to waste, so let's just jump right into a league. Thanks to Card Market for sponsoring this video. I've written a comprehensive guide on how to play White Weenie in Pauper, including my ideal stock list, over 30 sideboard matchups, and a sideboard cheat sheet, which gives you a very easy snapshot view and what to sideboard for every single matchup. I also have guides for Black Sack and Esper Affinity. Each guide is only $15, and if you buy one, you will get all future updates that I ever make to that guide for free. I also offer coaching, so if you're interested in upping your Pauper game for any of the decks that I'm very proficient in, or if you're interested in having me play your deck in a future video, you can do a deck donation, which is the only way you'll ever see me playing Cycle Storm or Flickertron. Alright, on the play here, we don't have a creature, so we got a mulligan. This one's okay. It's not great, but I think we'll get rid of one of the aerialists. Just play Plains and pass. And we're against Black Sack. If they're running a Cursed Marauder, this could be a tough one. We're going to start with the Aerialist because they could just kill the Skyguard with the Shambligast, which we don't want, obviously. Play a Nested Shambler and a Carrion Feeder. Ethereal Armor. I can't play Skyguard at all because they could just pick it off with this. So I think we're going all in on Wonderweave. And yeah, even playing this to get around a Marauder doesn't help. So I'm going to hope they don't have Marauder. Swing with 7 flying. If they didn't have the Ghast, I definitely would have played Skyguard and like Hyena Umbra it there. Village Rites the Shambligast. Okay. They're digging for Marauder, I assume. I guess Tragic Slip would work too, although they have to pay Ward for that. If they're playing Snuff Out, that's not going to kill it because we have Umbras. They swing for 2. Bloodthorn Vampire. So we're not dead. Homestead Courage can give just +2, so that doesn't change the math at all, so I might as well just Skyguard. I could give Vigilance so I have 2 blockers, though. I guess that makes sense. I could make the Skyguard a 3/3, but I think having an enormous blocker is probably a little better. Although the Skyguard could die to another Shambling Gas, so maybe that's worse. Alright, they give us the fast GGs. We get Mask of Law and Grace Pro Black. It's probably worthwhile. Lauren's Escape might be decent just to dodge Tragic Slips, because the Umbras don't help with that. Doomed Traveler, I guess, is a weird one in the sideboard, but helps against the Edict effects. Somewhat, although it makes a 1/1, so I don't know. Gutshot's okay if they don't expect removal and we can Gutshot like their Carrion Feeder turn 1. It's not great. Hyena Umbra, I'm expecting Tragic Slips and Marauders, so this doesn't seem like it does much of anything. I don't think we need Spirit Links. Like, they're okay. We'll leave 1 in. We have all of our creatures here. I do want a couple creatures, but I just don't think that's good enough. This one is, I guess we'll keep it. It's also not very good. They mulligan to 5, so that helps us a little bit. They might be aggressively mulliganing for their removal. Mulligan to 4. To be honest, though, if they're mulligan to 4, like, our hand is not very good. So they could still definitely kill us with a multi 4. We do have a little insurance against their removal, but that's about it. Play a Swamp and a Gorehound. Wonderweave. We got all the creatures. This guy's got Menace, so we will take 1. They got a Feeder. Get rid of a Beetle. They need lands and things. Do I start with an Akroan Skyguard? We don't have a way to buff this, but the Skyguard could get 2 counters from this Unscathed. I guess we start with that. It could just die to a Shambligast if they have that, but also doesn't block the Gorehound, but that's okay. They do find a Swamp. Just Tragic Slip to Skyguard, and they swing with both. I'll block the Feeder. They got 1 card left. Seems unlikely they're going to have a way to do anything to this. We get a Benevolent Blessing. So let's just play out our 2 guys, and then next turn I can just hold up protection and probably start attacking for some damage. But because of the rough mulligan, they're already down to one card in hand without much damage on board. Gorehound, they leave a card on top. Guiding Voice seems good. Let's put that on the area list and get sword training, I guess. +2, get a clue. Swing for just 3. We'll hold all of this up as combat tricks and stuff like that. I think I want to start growing 1 Trailblazer as well to deal some additional damage, probably off the Blessing. They do have the Accursed Marauder. Luckily, I don't care too much about that because we'll just sack 1 Trailblazer, bin a Rite of Consumption, leave the other one on top. They're going to swing with all of them. I'm going to block the feeder and I can grow it by... Actually, I can grow it by 3 here with this sword training, and we probably kill the feeder. We definitely kill the feeder, so they knew we had this. This was a little risky of them unless they have like a snuff out, but doesn't look like it. So we take 2, Mask of Law and Grace. We'll do that on the Trailblazer. I think now if they unearth or something the Marauder, we'll sack the Aerialist, as it is not going to have the potential to snowball quite as much, and it also... now that it doesn't have protection straight from black, so this survives better. Play a Swamp there. No attacks, although they can't block anyway, so I think they should have attacked. Well, Sentinel's Eyes. Might as well Spirit Link here too. Leave up Emerge Unscathed, I guess. Might as well. Hit for 8 and pass the turn. Alright, we take a quick win against Black Sack. Alright, we are on the draw. We don't have a 1-drop creature, but these are pretty good enchantments, so I think we'll keep it. Looks like we're against Affinity. If I can stick an Aerialist and give it flying and protection from everything. Ooh, they have a Mountain. Still looks like Affinity, but Basic Mountain is definitely an interesting one. Second Aerialist, so I can feel comfortable playing this one without immediate protection. Vault of Whispers. They have a Refurb. We'll discard our flashback card. Wellspring. Swing for 2. I guess I'll take it. Sentinel's Eyes is kind of nice. I could Sentinel's Eyes, Ethereal Armor, Guiding Voice. It gets big enough to dodge a Galvanic Blast, which is probably their main removal. It also gains flying, so I don't have to worry about Krark. They could jump with a Refurb. I'd prefer they don't, and then next turn I can just give it Unblockable, and they can't block at all, but this will be 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. Can probably make it about a 3-turn clock. We'll get the sword training. They don't block, and they have another Refurb. I think I'm all in on this Aerialist, so I think we're discarding this one. If they kill this, then I guess we're going to lose, but I think that's already the case. And, like, it has pretty good protection. They'd need double Galv Blast and pay for Ward. They have Krark, but that doesn't matter. They cast a Spell Bomb. That could take our Homestead Courage if they want. If not, we're going to just Courage, which makes this 7 power... Blessing to make it so they can't block with their Refurbs. It's a 2-turn clock unless they have life gain, so we're going to hope for no Reckoner's Bargain. Oh, this also grew the Ethereal Armor, so we're actually hitting for a little over lethal, which is nice because a Bargain wouldn't quite do it then necessarily. If we have some pump in hand, which we do. Like if they just gain 2 from like a Toxin Analysis, that's not going to be enough. Or a Reckoner's Bargain on a Wellspring wouldn't be enough. They're going to crack the Spell Bomb. This is why if I'm playing against White Heroic, I almost always jump block immediately. Like turn 1, I would have blocked with the Refurb if I were them. I know they could have gotten some value out of it, but like now I could just go unblockable and they could have saved 6 damage that would have made a big difference here now. Swing with the team. I have First Strike and protection from black, so I don't have to worry Death Touch. So I probably just block the Refurb. Alright, so we kill that and they deal us 5. Draw a card with the Wellspring, which kills their heroic token, or their hero token. Alright, we win that game. I don't know if they're going to have Extract Confession or anything from the sideboard. We're going to hope not. Mask of Law and Grace seems good, because Pro Red could be relevant if we have an Aerialist or a Trailblazer on the ground against Krark. I think that's really it. Maybe Lauren's Escape. I don't need any of the Spirit Links here. If they beat us to it with a burn win, then like good for them. I think that's what we do. Triple Sentinel's Eyes, but no creature is not going to do it. 1 Plains, but we do have Trailblazer, Mask, Sentinel's Eyes. I think we're going to keep this. Put back the Skyguard. All in on the Trailblazer. If they just Galvanic it right away, that would be bad. Oh, we get that guy back. I guess that's some insurance if we get more lands. They would need untapped land plus like a Blood Fountain or something and then Galvanic. Otherwise, we can just Mask of Law and Grace it immediately, which I think it's a lot safer than going with Sentinel's Eyes or something, because for all I know, they could have like cast downs in the sideboard. Sometimes they do play that. So, or they could just have double Galvanic Blast, which I could not survive with a Sentinel's Eyes. So that's what we're going to do. They play Wellspring. Oh, they could also just have Krark Death Touch. So there's a lot of different things. Another land is great. I'm gonna Sentinel's Eyes. We're gonna hope for no Extracting Confession. That's the big thing. I guess I could have played a Skyguard because then they would have to have Collect Evidence, which if they don't get like a Thoughtcast or something in the graveyard could be kind of tough. I probably should do that next turn, but that slows our clock unless I get like a land. Extract Confession, there it is. Never mind. Yep, that's bad. I guess we'll play a Skyguard. Protect it with Emergent Scathed. I was hoping they wouldn't have that immediately. Reckoner's Bargain. Play a bridge. They pass. And we are going to Homestead Courage. Give it a couple counters. Guiding Voice. Couple counters, they're going to go for the Galv Blast. We have the Emergent Scathed. Pro red. So let's hope we can dodge another Extract. Sokka's Sword Training. Hit for 6. Next turn we're hitting for 10. With Emergent Scathed, Rebound is 1 counter. Sokka's Sword Training is 2, so... Unless they have the Extract. Of course they do. They probably only have 2 of those in their sideboard, and they drew them both in the first 15 cards. It's a little sus, I will say. If we don't get a creature here, I think I just concede, because we're trying to go fast, and that's not gonna... Yep. Well, if they don't have both of their Extracts, we might have a shot. I mean, I guess Doomed Traveler helps with that early, like, until they can collect evidence. It's probably better than the Loren's Escape, which doesn't protect against that at all. Remote Farm, Mask... This dies to an Extract Confession again. I don't feel like I want to throw away a hand like this, but I don't know. 1 Extract and we're cooked. They might just mulligan aggressively to it, which is not unreasonable. They keep a 6-card hand. They also just have Great Furnace up immediately. So if I try to Mask of Law and Grace it, they just kill it. That sucks. I mean, I kind of have to try to do this because then I have another one next turn, but I know they're just going to Galvanic it. They play Blood Fountain, Plains... I guess, will they have another one? Homestead Courage? I don't have any instant speed way to grow it. Oh, they didn't do it in response to that, but I guess they have Metalcraft now. Okay, Mask survived. Let's see the Extract Confession and we'll probably concede. They have an Enforcer. That's not dead. Ooh, we get Doomed Traveler. So let's play that in case there's an Extract. Now they have to, like, find a way to sack their Enforcer before they can do it. Guiding Voice for training. Hit for 6. Could be a 3-turn clock. Refurb. I'm going to get rid of the Mask. We already have Pro Red and Black. This is more damage and a clue. Swing with the Skyguard. Can't block it. I will give it +3. Down to 5. Play a Remote Farm and pass. Kind of expect a Reckoner's Bargain on the Enforcer here. No. Okay, that's good. Play Mistvault Bridge. Swing with both. I'll take it. Pass. Emergent Scathed is pretty good. We'll crack a clue. So I expect them to have life gain. They go up to 7 or go up by 7. I think we just swing with this. I might want the Doomed Traveler to block. They're going to bargain, which means Extract Confession is online now. So we're going to hope that they don't have it. Galvanic us. Maybe should have attacked with the Doomed Traveler, but I was thinking I might need to chump the Enforcer if they didn't sack it, but had some other way to survive. And they could have sacked the Refurb, but swing for 2. Well, I'm going to assume they have like another Reckoner's Bargain for the Familiar since they haven't conceded. Oh, they have Sewer Valence to tap the Skyguard. Oh, I just messed up. I should have responded to the cast with the Emergent Scathe, because now if I try to give it protection, they can crack it to give it to do it again. Ugh, they're gonna crack it anyway, probably. Yeah, I should have done it in response to the cast trigger, or the cast. They wouldn't have been able to crack it to tap again. Attack with the Traveler. Just these little things I'm missing. I guess they could just crack the Blood Fountain. Yep, get back Enforcer. We're gonna Emergent Scathe the Skyguard in response to the tapping next time though, so if they don't get another way to gain life, or just kill us with Galvanics, we might be okay. Drawing all planes is not what I wanted. Maybe we just win here, but it's not a guarantee, because they could get another Reckoner's Bargain or something else. Pro blue. Swing. Oh, we got there. Super close. I made a mistake, but that's alright. Still 2-0. Alright, this hand is pretty decent, plus the Remote Farm accelerates us an extra turn. Seems good. Depending on the matchup, we'll play, we'll choose which creature we want to play depending on what they're playing. Manor Gate. So green, blue. Caw Gates, another Remote Farm. So they could be playing, they'll probably be playing Fogs at Journey to Nowheres. They might just kill us. Like, Fog is pretty tough for us to deal with. Journey to Nowhere means I should probably lead on Aerialist until I have protection for Skyguard. Cycle Alorian for a beachfront. Another Aerialist. Play another Remote Farm. Next turn I can play both of these and like Umbra if I want. They open the gates for Basilisk. They have Squadron Hawk to chump. Sentinel's Eyes. gives Vigilance, which is good. So let's just do that. Swing for 3. We're going to play both of our other creatures and pass. They have a Journey to Nowhere for the Skyguard. That's why we didn't buff it yet and why we led on these guys. They're going to pass. We get a Plains. So Homestead Courage. Don't think there's any reason to use the Rot Farm here. I can do 1 more damage by casting one of these. I guess I'll go for a Hyena Umbra. Try to increase our clock, but doesn't feel great when it doesn't give 2 counters, and also I know they're going to have fogs and some other things, but 2 big flyers with Vigilance is decent. Vigilance actually helps a lot in case they play Tangle, but yeah, Moment's Peace. This is like one of the new Gates decks is basically traditional Caw Gates, but it's splashing green for open and fogs. They have Guardian of the Guild Pact. Luckily, these are multicolored and also fly, so I don't really have to care about that. So let's Ethereal Armor and Homestead Courage. Actually, let's do the Courage later. I don't know if they play Tangle, but if they do, I'd rather give the Vigilance when it might be more relevant. And the 1 damage isn't going to be that big of a difference. They jump with the Hawk, pass. They're just going to pass, so probably Moment's Peace. I don't even think I'm going to Ethereal Armor. I guess I'm not forcing them to use a Fog here, which usually you do want to do. But they left up all their mana, so if they don't and all they do is like make a treasure from Heapgate, I think that's fine. Yeah, they use the Fog anyway. I think I'd rather save the Armor because if we draw another creature, Armor can make that creature immediately a relevant threat. Whereas we already have 2 guys that are pretty beefy. They'll cycle a Lorien, Tangled Islet. If they leave up mana, I'm going to expect another Fog. I guess with a second one of these, I probably should cast it and just force them. So if they don't have a Fog, they'll just lose, which I'm expecting them to have. I wish we had some way to play like Flaring Pain in the sideboard. Splash it. Prismatic Strands, okay. That's potentially a lot of Fogs they could be playing then. They're playing those. Brainstorm, Squadron Hawk, finds 2 more. Perfect thing that you want to do is play an aggressive creature deck and then go up against Fog when you're trying to be as fast as possible. I guess I'll Spirit Link just in case they ever don't Fog. We can at least start gaining life and make it even harder for them to come back. Strands. Armadillo Cloak on the Guardian. If they Basilisk Gate, it'll be an 8/9, which is just big enough for this Aerialist that I have back to not be able to block, which is annoying. They could gain 8 life to 21, and I don't think I have any way to get rid of this Hawk to deal lethal, so they could do that. They're thinking about it. Yep, guess I should have pumped this one a teeny bit more. I have no instant Speedway. Man, if I had an instant Benevolent Blessing, that'd be so good, but I don't. Now we have a Trailblazer, although this has protection from that, so that doesn't help very much. Homestead Courage. I guess we're just gonna buff up these guys to make them big enough. Force a chump block. And the concern is if they have like a Journey to Nowhere or something to get rid of one of these guys, I'm not gonna have a big enough guy. But whatever. Oh, right, we do gain a bunch of life, which is nice. So we're not like dead if they get a Journey or something, but still not great. Another Basilisk Gate, but we have enormous first strikers, so until they deal with those, not worried about Guardian. Play another Hawk. Play another Hawk. If we get Benevolent Blessing to give pro white, then they would have to have a Fog or they would die, whereas here they can still just block with these 2. But I'll give Vigilance to this one. If they want to double chump, that's fine, I guess. So they can't do much else. I'd rather just win if they don't have a Fog and everything, but I guess we'll gain 12. Pass to them. Open the gates. Could get another Basilisk, which they do. Even if they could use all of them, this would only make it a 22-23. My guys together have 27 power and toughness. With first strike, another Guardian. Alright, we'll see whatever Fog they have this turn. Keep giving Vigilance. Look, it's a Strands. They're going to pump the Guardian by 6. Pump it again. Pump it again? No, they only pumped it twice. 16. They have 2 mana up. I guess they flashback Strands to prevent all damage from our blue sources, which are these guys, and then they deal, so this survives even through our first strike, and then they can kill this, plus they gain 16, which means I can't kill them, which means I can't block. I actually have to just take it, which gains them a bunch. We just get a Plains, which means no Vigilance on this turn. It's still lethal unless they want to. They can't jump either because they have flying, so they still have to flashback Strands. We'll gain 13. But yeah, that was interesting because I was obviously going to block and then realized that the Strands screwed that plan up a little bit. And now we don't have Vigilance, which means if they pump this a couple times, I won't be able to block it again. In fact, I guess now if they pump it 3 times, it's 22. I'll have to block with this guy, and then they'll gain enough that I can't kill with this. So I think we're going to lose. But to be honest, they've used almost half their clock already on this first game, so I think, even though I'm trying to go fast, we're also trying to win. I think we should probably just play it out as our best way to win the game. Play a Citadel Gate. They also brainstormed, so they can't pump 3 times. They can pump twice for 18, which isn't quite lethal, or they can not pump, which is what they've chosen to do. Merge Unscathed. Can get pro for this. Okay, so I feel like I just attack with the Vigilance guy. No, because this still forces a fog, and then I can get protection so that they wouldn't gain most of the life. Yeah, I mean, I gotta draw out every fog if they have them, so let's just swing. If they don't have a fog, we win, but I assume they will have yet another. There's another Strands. Pass the turn. Make a treasure from their Heap Gate. Basilisk Gate to pump this. Gate again. Only twice, which is not lethal, but I should still probably block Emergent Scathed. I guess they could have a counter spell for this, but whatever. Sure, they do. Yeah, so I should have probably just taken it, but I think we're pretty much just delaying the inevitable regardless. Oh, Sentinel's Eyes, perfect. Vigilance here, Trailblazer, swing. And we still gain 12, which means it could be hard for them to kill us here. I mean, triple pump is 25, so that I could take, unless they play another gate, which would be 28. So I'd have to block with this guy. Pump the Guardian, just twice, so I'll take it. Sentinel's Eyes for +1 life gain here. I mean, the Trailblazers are completely irrelevant. They can't block and they can't attack through their guys, so might as well grow. This, it's actually +2 with the armor. Flashback Strands, sure. So I don't gain the life, which means I will have to chump this time. Sewer Valence Cam to tap it down. That's an interesting include. I guess pretty good here. Well, we're going to die this turn, but we used 4 minutes and they used 16, so hopefully we can just get there on time, I guess. Fairy Macabre seems good. Lauren's Escape, maybe. No protection from white cards here. I know Benevolent Blessing does that, but that's it. Gutshot could clear a blocker. That seems weak. Spirit Link is, I would say, very bad in this matchup, but to be honest, it does make it so we can actually draw out the game, so maybe I want those in this match, seeing as we're trying to just draw it out. Hyena Umbra doesn't matter, because I don't think Umbra Armor matters. I guess Guiding Voice, maybe? I don't know. We'll leave the Gutshot out. I don't think that's really where we want to be. No lands, no creatures. Well, this is not going to be something we can draw out if we just don't have the cards. Remote Isle, I could play probably just Aerialist. I feel like Trailblazers, they get more damage, but they just get blocked or journeyed or something too easily. Whereas this at least has flying. We've seen can go up against a Guardian and also Ward 2. Benevolent Blessing is pretty good. So I can maybe just give this pro white immediately. Plains. Sentinel's Eyes. Do I want to just throw everything on here? Make it a 5/5 with pro white. I could save that, but if they have a counter spell, it's kind of bad. I think we will just do it now. I guess pro white means I can't play anything else on it, which might be bad. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I can't give it lifelink or anything at this point. I do just have a 3-turn clock if they don't have life gain or obviously fogs, which we know they will probably have. Probably should have saved the blessing. Yeah, because I can't ethereal armor. Yeah, that was pretty stupid, I think. It was a little too safe to the point where it was not very good. I was worried about counterspells and stuff like that, but the fact that I can't grow it now is pretty rough. Of course, we're actually drawing decent cards. They're gonna probably Strands here. Yep. I mean, I guess it would have been pretty expensive for them to journey, pay ward, and have up a counterspell. So I could have just held up the Blessing over and over, and then we could have had this on there, hitting for more damage. Squadron Hawks, I mean, they're not chump blockers, but they do get to cast Strands, flash it back. They play Guardian. Yeah, once they get Guardian going, it might be kind of tough now that I can't grow this guy. I mean, we get to put him to 5 here. No Basilisk Gate is decent. Armadillo Cloak by itself doesn't really matter because I have pro white, so I can just block. So yeah, they have it, unless they have another way to buff it or something. These are both blue, though. Blue-white. Do they have a fog for 2 mana? That's not interesting. They may have Thraben Charm to blow up the Blessing, unless they have a way to gain life or something, because they don't have Moment's Peace mana, unless they just tapped wrong. They went to blocks. Okay, well, we won that game. That's good, because we made a huge mistake. They still have 5.5 minutes, which is not a lot, but could win them a game. I was not expecting to win that one, actually. Here we have Aerialist. Yeah, this hand is decent enough. Let's not make the same mistake with the Blessing. We still should put it on white. I don't think choosing white is the wrong choice here. I just shouldn't have done it so hastily. Seagate on red? Well, that's a bad sign. What do they have for red? Pyroblast for the Wonderweave Aerialist? That would be really bad. They're already a 3-color deck. How are they splashing red? I feel like they're going to have Pyroblast for it, and we're going to lose. Oh, well, we drew another one. I guess that means we definitely just lead on this one. Frickin' knew it. Well, let's hope they don't have another, I guess. Squadron Hawk, so they're tapped out. I can play Aerialist. I could give it Pro White. Problem is if I don't do that, I think I'd probably hold up the Blessing, because if I just play, like, these, then they could just Journey it, and that'd be bad. Oh my gosh, that's too many Blessings. Yeah, so if they Journey, if they Pyroblast, I'll also have to use this on red, if they have either of those. Open the gates. Remote farm is basically a treasure here, so there's no reason to do it at end step if I don't need to do it, because I lose this mana anyway. So obviously if I protect it from something, I will do that, but if I don't need to, I will not. Play another Hawk. This is only a 3/3 with the things that we have in hand. We need like Ethereal Armor really bad. That's not it. Well, we're going to do this, and we're going to hold up the Blessing still. Like, one Ethereal Armor with this Blessing, I think, should win us the game. But as is, it's just too small to be threatening enough. Because if they find Guardian plus Armadillo Cloak or whatever, plus Basilisk Gate, we could definitely lose to that. I mean, I guess Blessing on Aerialist just to block a protection from white, block the Guardian is decent. But Armadillo Cloak on a Hawk. This doesn't have First Strike at the moment, although I could give it Pro White. They're just going to leave it as a blocker. Okay. Lifelink. I mean, if I double lifelink and then I start Blessing, are they going to be able to kill me? Seems unlikely. Yeah, I guess we're going to go for it. This means I am going to lose the ability to put more auras on this, including more Blessings for other colors. That's actually bad. Should I do this on red first so I can't get Pyroblasted, and then do a Blessing on white? Yeah, I mean, I think so. If I get Pyroblasted, I lose the game, and we have the extra Blessing, so why not? So now we get to attack for 3, pretty much unblockable, which is a 5-turn semi-reliable clock, except for Fogs. But every time we hit, we also gain 6, so it seems unlikely for them to kill us. We have a blocker for this, although they get to gain... Right, they get to pump this and gain. We're going to absorb 5 of it, or 3 of it, excuse me. So they're going to gain 5. I mean, all right, we still gain our life. We gained 6 and they dealt us 5, so that didn't even do anything. Okay. Yeah, I think we're just going to time them out at this point, which is an acceptable way to win. Not my favorite, but it's something I can do. Oh, I could also Blessing their Hawk so it loses Armadillo Cloak, couldn't I? No, because it doesn't make auras fall off. Never mind. If they cast another Armadillo Cloak on it, I could. Buff it for 9. I don't think they're realizing that they're not dealing any damage here. Because we're at 36, we're going to absorb 3 of it, where they don't gain life, and then we're going to gain 3, and then 3. I guess they're gaining life, aren't they? Yeah, I guess it's still worth it for them. Fair enough. Spirit Link. I can Spirit Link their creature. Might as well. I gain more life, and again, they're just not going to be able to kill us. Moment's Peace. I can Fairy Macabre that if I want, but now their Hawk attacking gains us life actively. Quite a bit of life. Brainstorm. Play another Hawk. I'm sure they're going to find another one that they just put back. They're going to leave up Fog mana for a Moment's Peace. I might as well Macabre it, because that's why it's here. And in case they don't have another Fog in hand, this could throw off their plan a little bit. Merge Unscathed. Swing for 3. We gain 6. Oh, never mind. They do have the Fog. Moment's Peace. There's a Guardian. They got less than 1 minute left. Swing. They go for a Moment's Peace. On this 3/3? That's crazy. Why would they do that? Alright, they concede. It wasn't the speedy match that we wanted, but we are 3-0, so we can't complain. On the play here, and the hand looks decent. Skyguard on 2. Multiple good auras to chant it with right after that. 2 protective ones as well, depending on the matchup. Second Skyguard for backup against Fairies. I feel like this should be an okay matchup. Although if it's blue-black, which has been the most more popular recently, they could just have snuff outs and things, which would be pretty tough. Another Fairies here. They scryed 2 to the bottom the first time. Maybe looking for a land. 2 to the top. Attack. No land. Alright, so I probably just Hyena Umbra Blessing, Pro Blue, and then if they have double snuff out to get through the Umbra, I guess that's bad. I could go Pro Black, but if it's mono blue and they have like a snap, that's really bad. I don't want to give them the chance to block or like spell stutter this. I think I just go Pro Blue. I don't know. I could have gotten down like a Skyguard, but that seems, instead of doing the Blessing, that seems worse. But Blessing has instant speed. Maybe that was bad. I don't know. Swing for 2. I'm just going to play a Trailblazer. If they want to counter, Spell Stutter, whatever, that's totally fine. Now a Skyguard. And if they want to do that to this, that's also fine. Because then I can Spirit Link this. Yeah. Spirit Link should ensure I probably can win. They look mono blue, which means if they can't snap it, unless they have a way to get rid of the blessing, like a boomerang or something, now I can't die to damage, and I just kill them in a couple turns. They swing for 3. Ninja the Spell Stutter. They have a Pachuca Bog, so they are black. Okay, that could be bad. They could just have like a couple cast downs for the Skyguard. No Swamp is actually really nice, though. The fact that that's a bog and not a swamp is relevant. I didn't grab a way to buff this either, so I might not even have them dead next turn if I don't draw a way to pump. Play an island. So no double black means, without a swamp means they can't snuff out and cast down. So Homestead Courage buffing this, even if they counter this, should be lethal, except they could have a cast down for the Hyena Umbra, which would lose 1 power, so I might need to just flashback the Homestead Courage as well, if this gets countered, which it didn't. So this, even through a cast down, is gonna be lethal. So maybe I just Courage the Aerialist then? Have another different guy? I don't know. They haven't conceded, so it feels like they have something for this. So I'm a little worried. All right, they did concede now. Okay. Maybe they didn't, they were just considering their options. Maybe they didn't have, they didn't realize Umbra Armor at first or something like that. But Gutshot seems decent. Lauren's Escape, because they're going to be, I wish I had pro blue-black, obviously. Black is going to be removal, which is more important, except chump blockers are pretty important too. Still think Mask of Longgrace is probably worth bringing in. Lifelink is not super relevant. Cut a couple Guiding Voice. I don't think the lessons are super relevant in this matchup. Alright, let's hope we don't get snuffed out really early. That's kind of the main thing we need to avoid. I mean, Aerialist helps not get snuffed out with the ward. It could still be killed, but I think we keep this. If we can get the Aerialist to stick and then blessing it, we can be pretty good, but that's better. That's easier said than done. Augur Bolas, okay. I wish we had a remote farm so I could have Aerialisted immediately. Mask of Long Grace. So I could just wait, because if I just play this, they could snuff it out. If I wait, what are the chances that they're gonna not have up counterspell for the Aerialist though? So low. They whiffed on the Augur, which is kind of decent. I think I gotta just play it. If they just hold up counterspell, then I can't play it anyway. So it's banking on them not having a counterspell next turn versus a snuff out now. And it's better to go early. In general, okay, they didn't have a snuff out immediately. I could Mask of Long Grace, and if they spell stutter that, I get to Blessing. But they can spell stutter these for kind of free. Could also just leave up Blessing, not do anything, and then play Remote Farm next turn. I get to do everything. They can't cast down. If they had snuff out, I can Blessing in response. They could have an annul or something, which would be bad. It might be risky, but I think we just try to pass here. Wait 1 more turn, and then I go for the Mask of Long Grace with double Blessing backup. Landscape. Alright, although now they could have double Counterspell, but whatever. We'll go for the Mask. They have a null, so I could Blessing. Yeah, let's go for a Blessing. Maybe I should do this at their end step now, and they get another card draw. I don't know. They have an actual Counterspell, so now let's Blessing. Pro Black. So if we have Pro Black, we shouldn't be worried about the removal, and then it's just jump blockers, which eventually shouldn't be a problem. They are low on cards. Correct their landscape. They could get a ninja in, which looks like they're gonna, because they immediately went to combat. Ninja the Deep Hours, but we get Vigilance next turn with Homestead Courage, so that's good. Cyclorian, play Fairy Seer, not Augur. I guess they want to set up Augur. Start 2 to the top, Ethereal Armor, Homestead Courage for Vigilance. I'm not going to flash it back because I'd rather get Vigilance again next turn. Please go away. We don't have Pro Blue, so they can chump, but that's okay. If they do, they have an Augur, which they set up, so I assume they're going to find something. A null. Yep. Well, this creature can probably just kill them. This has flying, which I don't know if they realize. Okay, they did. Almost attacked into it. Hyena Umbra. Let's Homestead Courage. If they counter this, like with a Spell Stutter or something, then I couldn't actually really attack because no Vigilance. I mean, I could attack, but I don't know. Definitely attacking now. I'm not going to play an Umbra when they just have an annul. They are going to chump, which is smart. Because if I find a Pro Blue thing, then I could just, except for their counter spells, I could just kill them. They're going to swing with both. I guess they probably have another ninja then, which means I probably should block Augur, right? Because they draw 1. Whereas if I block here, they draw 1 off a ninja, and then they also get to re-augur. So I think I block here. It's counterintuitive, but pretty sure it makes sense. Maybe they trick me if they didn't have a ninja, but I think that attack makes no sense unless they have a ninja. And there's the Ambusher, which is what I figured they might have. So they only have 1 mana for an Annul. This is pro black and red. I already have pro black. So I can cast Mask of Law and Grace just to bait the Annul, and then I can get a Hyena Umbra. I guess I do that. I mean, if they don't annul it, then, which they shouldn't, then it doesn't matter. But oh, it does grow the Ethereal Armor. That is relevant, actually, because it made it so it's a 2-turn clock now. Not quite, though, because the Ambusher, I mean, we still got to attack. No Vigilance, unfortunately, so they get pretty good free attacks, but here we are. If they find Extract Confession, I wasn't really playing around that because I'm silly, but if they find us Extract, we will lose the game. But I haven't had another creature all game, so what difference does it make? If I see an Extract, I'll probably bring in the Doom Traveler. Otherwise, we're probably fine. Although they put cards into their graveyard pretty quickly, so that probably isn't great. I could Umbra, but then they annul it, and then I armor, and they probably have another counterspell. Which, if it's a spell stutter, we're just giving them the ability to play a creature, which is a chump blocker. Oh, that I wasn't even thinking of. I was like, oh, it's just a creature, but it doesn't matter. It does matter, and so I shouldn't have done that, probably. But I was trying to get lethal. I don't know. Maybe I should stop attacking here because they chump, they gain life, draw a card, but tough spot. I don't know. We go to 6, they're at 12. If Ethereal Armor resolved and I could hit them, then that'd be okay, but that seems unlikely. Okay, Guiding Voice. I'm not going to attack, probably. Guiding Voice doesn't get annulled, though, so if they have a spell stud or whatever, then that's pretty good. Otherwise, we get Sword Training, which could give us a clue, or Airbending Lesson, which draws us a card, so same thing there, but it gets rid of a ninja, I guess. Or a blocker. This is an 8/8. I guess I go for the lesson. I don't know. Neither one feels very good. I'm just gonna pass here. Wish there were more relevant lessons in white here. They have no attacks. Sentinel's Eyes. I mean, if that gets countered, that's great. That's totally fine. And Vigilance is actually really good. So this was a great draw. Opponent doesn't know whether to counter it or not, which is fair, because it's pretty tough. We have 4 cards in our graveyard, so even if they counter it, they'd have to counter it 2 more times, which if they don't have that ability, they might as well probably just let it go. But it's also really good, because it's Vigilance. It's 2 more damage. They go for the Annul, which I love to see, because it's also a counterspell we don't have to worry about on the Ethereal Armor, but we're just going to keep using the Sentinel's Eyes, because maybe they do just have enough counters for it, and keep doing that. No, they let it go this time. I think I have... So it does have Vigilance. I think I have Ethereal Armor. We saw them use the Annul. Obviously, they probably have another counterspell, but if they don't, then that would be pretty good. Okay, we'll swing for 10. They go to 2, and we'll pass the turn. Swamp, no attacks. Homestead Courage, I don't think that's relevant, so in case they have a spell stutter, no reason to do it. Let's just attack. And they just take it. Alright, we won the match. Well, we're against our final boss, Natalino91, who I don't know exactly what they play usually, but a very good player, so that's going to be a tough one. This is not keepable with no creatures. This is... I think it's acceptable. It's not amazing. In the right matchup, Skyguard with a bunch of auras is, gonna be good enough. Let's hope this is one of them. If it's mono red, this hand looks decent, except that we don't have a way to keep the Skyguard alive immediately. Sacred Peaks makes me think it might be Boros Tribe. Well, darn Epicure. Still could be some sort of Boros Tribe deck. I feel like in a deck with Epicure, I feel like they're going to have a Bolt. I feel like just playing Skyguard is probably going to die. But if we don't, even if I play 1 aura on it next turn, it's still going to die to a Bolt. So I think we run it out and just hope for the best. Could be like Boros Madness with all the new Pursue the Past cards. I don't know. Boros Bully, maybe. Attack for 1. We will take it. Spirit Mascot. And they didn't kill the Skyguard. So I'm going to hope they don't have a way to kill it, like a Journey or something, because now we get to just make it enormous. And Sentinel's Eyes is 1 more damage, but it's not lifelink. I think we just Spirit Link. We're all in. I mean, we're going to die if they have like a Journey to Nowhere or something, but if not, this looks like a pretty fast kill. And even if they do, if we gain some life along the way, maybe we'll be okay. Faithless Looting. So I haven't seen Epicures in this type of deck yet, but yeah, I'm assuming it's Stinkweed. You know what? I actually thought about trying Stinkweed Imps in this deck, in some sort of Spirit Mascot deck. Scrapwork Mutt. Okay, I love this. Grows the Mascot. I don't know if they could play Stinkweed Imp. They also have Lotless Giant. We drew Ethereal Armor, so we can actually just kill. If they could play Stinkweed Imp, it could be a good blocker, but we just have lethal here. Alright, we had a very good fast start there. We could have some graveyard hate, although I'm not sure we care about that they're doing. They're probably going to have some journeys or something from the sideboard, so I feel like some Lorn's Escapes might not be bad. They might have sneaky snackers, plus they're red, so like Mask of Law and Grace isn't terrible. Gets rid of blockers. And Lifelink, even though it is a red deck, I think is probably less relevant. Now that I know it's like a dredge deck, and we saw a lot with Giant, so I think it's just like trying to do a Boros dredge with Spirit Mascot. I think the Lifelink's not super relevant then. Their interaction might just be pretty low. I'm worried about the sideboard, so I think I'm going to bring these in, but maybe I don't need to be as worried. I kind of feel like I don't want Macabre. Macabre is like really good or really necessary against Spy or something that could like turn for you like right before you kill them, but this is probably not as like instant speed combo, like not instant, but like it all happens at once combo. This is more, I don't know. Trailblazer with a bunch of stuff I think is good enough. Lorn's Escape protects. They could have a lot of chump blockers for this, but I don't know. This hand looks pretty good to me. Play a Trailblazer. Spirit Mascot. Mask of Law and Grace is pro red. If they have Journey, I feel like I want to hold up Lauren's Escape, but I feel like I need to get some more damage down first, so I think we're going to take the risk, because otherwise I'm playing only one of these every single turn, and then that's just not going to be enough damage. So we're going to take a little bit of a risk, which could lose us the game, but I'm going to attack for 5 here, and then next turn I'm going to start holding up Escape every turn. 3 mana for Molten Gatekeeper, totally fine. I can get pro red, so they can't even block. Oh, can I just win? Ethereal Armor, Mask, and Hyena Umbra is +5 from each armor. Yeah, that should definitely be lethal. Mask of Law and Grace is pro red, black, so they can't block it. Ethereal Armor is maybe just lethal by itself, but Hyena Umbra. They said nice, GG. Yeah, we had 2 very fast good starts. And we got a trophy. I'm so glad, because I was worried we'd be here all night. 5 qualifier points means all I have to do is get another 4-1, which we're going to jump right back into immediately. And, you know, if we don't get a 4-1 and we get like a 3-2, we'll have to do 2 of them. But let's go. All right, we are on the play. No creatures. A lot of beautiful cards, though. Double Skyguard, Benevolent Blessing. I think we keep this one. I think I'm going to favor the double Skyguard over the double Blessing. Just because if we play a Skyguard here and it dies right away, I'd like to have a second one against Jund or Grixis. We are just going to lead on Skyguard, hope it doesn't die, and then I can maybe get Sentinel's Eyes Hyena Umbra. I mean, if they're Grixis, they could just Galv Blast it. If they're Jund, they could just untap land. Yeah, Jund, cast it down if they have that. No, they just have Wellspring. Okay, so Hyena Umbra gives us protection from cast down. I could just put Blessing, but that's less damage. Quite a bit less damage, so I think we start with this for 5. Bad part about Jund is that I cannot gain protection from colorless, which means if they get a Chrysalis down, they're going to be able to block it. But my guy is a flyer, so they can't block it with all the spawn, or at least not the Skyguard, but they can block it with the Chrysalis. If my guy's big enough, that's just 1 chump block, but something to keep in mind. They're going to just Offering the Wellspring right away. Play a Krark, might as well. They're going to have to discard here. Remote Farm. So I could play a Skyguard. I don't think I really care about a second one, though. I think I'd rather just give this Pro Black now. Pro Black means it can't be cast down, which is good because the Hyena Umbra, I don't want to fall off. Also, this means it can't be blocked by refurbs, which is pretty relevant. And it deals more damage, so depending on what we draw next turn, I could have lethal right away. They do have a Chrysalis. They slam that down. Another Blessing. Well, I think we just attack. If they don't block, I'm actually 1 damage short. Double Blessing only gives +2, but they block, so it doesn't matter. So I think I just Skyguard and immediately Blessing it as well, so that they can't cast it down. And now I have 2 attackers. It's a 2-2, but that's still a little bit of damage. Still relevant. If they play like a Hydra or Saga Wildling, I can also give pro green if I need. Play a Mountain. They have another Chrysalis, it looks like, which could be a 6-7, which means they tried to grow it even more with the map. They missed because they had a land drop, which means if I can grow the Skyguard. So if I attack with both and they block here, I get in for 6, but I think I'd rather just attack with this one, and if they block it with the Chrysalis and sacrifice all their spawn, then they would force me to cast another Blessing on it, which they can probably assume that I have, seeing as otherwise why would I attack with this? But it's also probably worth them trying. Yep, they're going to sacrifice all of them. I will cast this to give it 1 more counter, and I might as well give it pro green this time. I think that's more important, more likely to be relevant than pro red, because I'm not worried about red creatures, Krark, Galvanic, or anything like that. So with that, we were able to clear all their spawn, which is nice. They lost a ton of mana. And if they don't have another Chrysalis or something, we also just have 9 in the air right now. They do have another Chrysalis. Okay, fair enough. And a Lembas. Scryed at the bottom. And they concede. I mean, they weren't quite dead here because they got blocked again, but I know they were... I was just going to say, if we get Ethereal Armor, that'd be really good because this actually gives +6 to the... This actually would kill... No, because then they could chump this one. And this only gets... Yeah. But that was an insane draw. Would have given this... made the small guy a 9/9. They have to chump that. I guess they have a Lembas too, so they don't have to, but they have to block one of them. In any case, that was pretty good. What do we get for them? Gut Shot could take out a Krark if it's given, before it can gain Death Touch, which could be relevant for our Trailblazers. Definitely Mask of Law and Grace. This is pretty much the best card in the sideboard. Let's see, in my Jund, some of my Jund decks, I play additional Go for the Throats. So Lauren's Escape could be decent. This is not one where we need Spear Link, so we can get rid of all of those, which makes some stuff pretty easy. Maybe just Guiding Voice. Gut Shot really only matters for Krark. It could take out like a Refurb if I don't have Pro Black, but I don't think that's necessary. Alright, we do have a Skyguard with just a remote farm, so I could Skyguard in turn 2 and then Mask and Sentinel's Eyes, but I lose my land. It's so risky. Mask is really good. If it's only a 4/4, it could get blocked by a Chrysalis. We're on the draw. I think I'm going to try it. It's probably not a keep, but I don't know. Hopefully we draw planes and it just makes everything a lot better. We don't. And also they hold up cast down mana instantly. Well, we're going to tap for the Skyguard and hope it doesn't get killed, but I don't think I can not play it, seeing as that's what we kept our hand on. And it's gone for the Throat. I guess this guy does have a Throat. Huge weakness. Huge L from him. There's an Infiltrator. Now I need a land and a creature. I guess no, I mean, we're basically dead. I think our best bet is draw a land first. I play nothing except for the land. And then we get a creature. All right. Okay. Pass. They're at 3 cards. I mean, maybe we get like what's the Trailblazer? That's the one. They Lembas, Scry to the top. I mean, if they tap out, Refurb. Okay. Discard the free one, Sentinel's Eyes. They don't have Cast Down up, so if I could just get like a Trailblazer and then I could Mask of Law and Grace it, and then Guiding Voice, that'd be pretty good. No? Okay. We have like 1 or 2 turns left to get a creature. I can't believe this extremely risky keep is not paying off. That's outrageous. It's unfair. They just sacrifice a bunch of stuff for offerings, trying to hit for as much as possible, which makes sense. Yeah, we might only have 1 turn. Yeah, we didn't get it. Let's just concede. All right. Bad keep. Who knew? My bad. And this one has no creatures. This one has no creatures or lands. This one has no lands. This one has no creatures, but I'm forced to keep on 4. I think put back these, I guess? I don't know. I think we've lost. Shouldn't have kept that bad one on the last time, and then I guess I shouldn't have mulliganed to 4 here. Unlucky. Well, we drew a creature. Maybe we have a shot. No protection, though, so... Except for Ward 2, which is relevant. Quite relevant, actually. Oh, they have Duress? Come on. I mean, Ethereal Armor, I assume. No, they take the Guiding Voice? I guess this is only +1/+1. This is 2 cards. Oh my gosh. Mask of Law and Grace and Ethereal Armor as my last 2 cards. Maybe I have a shot. This still is not good enough against Chris, but everything else it's really good against. And if I get just one way to buff it, that still can get past a Chris. Cleansing Wildfire, finds green, they have a tap land, that's Chris next turn. Benevolent Blessing, well, it gives +1/+1 damage, so I might as well just do it and get protection from there. I have protection from green, red, and black, and they still have ways to block with colorless creatures, so that's annoying. That's a Wellspring, though, not a Chrysalis, which means they don't have it. Cleansing Wildfire. I'm assuming they're not going to have like an Extracted Confession, but they could. Just not usually in the sideboard of these decks. Wonder Weave is okay. I would have preferred a way to buff this one so I could make sure we have lethal next turn, but whatever. They can't block it, and I will play this guy. Which technically could just give more life to them if they play like Krark and Death Touch, but if they spend their mana doing that instead of something else, it's not a big deal. They have a Refurb, draws them a card for 1. They have Chrysalis. That's not great. I guess like Ethereal Armor for this Aerialist might be our best draw. Trailblazer. Well, I'm going to attack with this one, and I don't have a way to give it instant speed power in the entire deck, I don't think, since it doesn't have heroic. They don't necessarily know that, though, so they might block still. I prefer they block and lose their Chrysalis now than later, because later it could actually be lethal. Okay, they do block. We'll play a Trailblazer in case it matters. They would go for the throat for that. That's totally fine. Lembas. That gains life, so I guess another Ethereal Armor just for this Aerialist would be good enough. Scry to the top. That's got to be a Chrysalis, right? What else would they keep? I guess they have mana. Go for the throat on this Aerialist, okay. I guess that's reasonable. If I don't get Ethereal Armor on this, it's probably not going to be lethal, so that's fine. With their Limbus, that is. If I do, it would be +5, so that'd be a 10-10. Weather the Storm. Okay, so not lethal. They're going to start attacking. I could really use a way to pump this. That's not it. Because this is now not even a 3-turn clock with the Limbus. It's a 4-turn clock, which almost gives them time to kill us with refurbs. Not quite, but they could just have another creature of some sort. Wellspring. Swing for 4. Come on, give me an Ethereal Armor. Oh, come on. We're going to lose like this? Maybe. It's close. But if they just get like another Weather or Lembas, then I won't have it. I definitely think it's right to take out the Spirit Links, but this is the situation where I wish I had one, because then I wouldn't have to worry about losing just about our guy dying. They're going to Fanatical Offering the Wellspring. I guess I should maybe leave this Aerialist back. That seems so bad, though. They grow the Refurb, bin a cast down off a map. They cast down their own spawn. That means they definitely have a Weather the Storm. Yup. Put us to 7. We get a Skyguard. I was just going to say maybe we can't attack anymore. I think that might still be true. Like, I'll play the Skyguard. But if they cast it down and we go to 2, we're just dead. Hitting for 5 when they're at 12 and could potentially gain more life is irrelevant, when I could just get like 1 or 2 cards like armors that make it so I could hit them, kill them in 1 hit. So I should maybe have left this back a little while ago. Hopefully we can not die and get the right cards now. But they got a Fanatical Offering on the Wellspring. And of course now if they get like a Chrysalis, since they've been able to survive a little while longer, we won't necessarily have a way to kill them right away. Troublemaker Oof. Yeah, I was worried about that too. Get rid of the Mask of Law and Grace, so no protection from black anymore, which means it could be cast down, although it still has ward. It's only a 4/4. Ugh. Felt like this game was going so well, and now it's going so poorly. They cast down the other guy. Krark. Give me something good. I have no idea. Where's all my card draw? Sentinel's Eyes. I mean, Vigilance. Yeah, actually, Vigilance is something that could have been really good a while ago, because then I wouldn't have taken all that damage. That's what I needed. I didn't need Spirit Link. I just needed Vigilance, which I have 8 ways to give Vigilance in the deck, and I didn't find them. But, I mean, we're not dead yet, but we're pretty dang close. If they just have a cast down, we lose. Yeah. All right, well, starting out with a loss is not really what I want. Unfortunate. We have the Remote Farm, Aerialist, Blessing it maybe. And this is the same hand as before. That like, well, it's very similar to the hand before where I just lost immediately, but we'll keep it. Candy Trail. If this was some sort of combo Tron deck, I might be able to just kill him quickly enough. I would love to draw planes. But Monster Tron has become the more popular Tron deck recently, which they can just make big guys. Prism, give me a planes. No. Skyguard gets bigger if they have Natural Tron, and then like they could just kill this with a Pinnacle Kill Ship. But if they don't, this gets a lot bigger. Yeah, let's go for the Skyguard and hope for the best. We're already in a bad spot. Only with this one land that's about to die, that I think we're just trying to hope for the best. Lembas is interesting. This might be a combo deck, actually. But Wooded Ridgeline, maybe not. Sentinel's Eyes, okay. I mean, we're sacking this, and it's definitely not for an Aerialist, so Sentinel's Eyes and Ethereal Armor makes it as big as we can. 6. If it gets kill shipped or something, we just lose. Currently, they don't have Tron, though. There's Candy Trail again. Just got one at the top. That means they might have found it. Yep, there's Tower. Just give me a planes. Thank you. Sentinel's Eyes is 1 more damage. I think I'd rather start gaining a life. 1 damage could be relevant. They could go up to 23 here. I could hit for, I guess this is +3, so it's 9. Sure, let's Sentinel's Eyes. Also, if we don't get kill shipped and we have 1 more turn and we can make this with Spirit Link in 11/11, then we could dodge a kill ship in the future, but not sure that's going to happen. Sack a Candy Trail, cycle a Generous End, and they have the kill ship, of course. So I guess if we'd gone on the air list, no, they had ward. They had the ability to pay for ward, so it didn't really matter. They crack Columbus. These can't give protection from colorless, unfortunately. They have a Bramble Worm. All right, we're dead. Gained too much life. Our land drop was bad for us yet again. All right, Lorian's Escape gives protection. That's like it. I mean, I guess High Number is good, but like Protection from a color is kind of irrelevant here. Gut shot doesn't matter. Protection from green does give protection from Brambleworm, I guess. Probably better than the Benevolent Blessing, which are more expensive and just seem kind of bad here. I guess lifelink is okay if we just kind of beat up against each other, but we gain a bunch of life through it. I don't know. Alright, it's a one-lander. Trailblazer. I mean, it's a pretty decent one-lander. I feel like I don't love keeping these hands, but if we don't keep these hands, we just mulligan to Oblivion, it feels like. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm not supposed to keep the ones that are, like, barely playable. Barely maybe okay. But it feels like we have a pretty good chance to go down to just a worse hand. Play a Trailblazer and pass. They have a Candy Trail. Scry 2 to the bottom. I'm gonna Hyena Umbra. This is just as much damage as the Guiding Voice. Better for an Ethereal Armor, and gives protection, which I'm going to want, or it gives Umbra Armor, which makes it so I don't die to a Pinnacle Killship. This is what I could have used last game, but I did not find. Swing for 2, and pass the turn. They have a Forest, crack their Candy Trail, so no Tron on turn 3 unless they have like a crop rotation. Lauren's Escape. Well, we're going to keep trying to build this up first. Sword Training is way more likely for us to be able to cast it. Swing for 4 and pass. They play a Ridge Line. Just pass here. We get a Remote Farm. That's pretty good. I think I could Spirit Link. That doesn't do us that much good. It's only 1 more damage. Gain 5 is decent. I think I'd rather hold up Lauren's Escape just on the off chance they have crop rotation into like Tron, a Pinnacle Killship, or they could just have something else that I'm not thinking of as a kill spell. And I do have Umbra Armor, but I don't want to lose the Hyena Umbra if I don't have to. They have another Urza's Tower and nothing to play. I guess it's just all giant creatures. That's tough on them. Ooh, we get a Plains. So I could Spirit Link and also just play like a Wonderweave Aerialist now. Still hold up the Escape. I think that's probably best. Swing for 5. Gain 5 and pass the turn. They cycle a Generous Ent. Seems like this hand was pretty reliant on the Candy Trail and it did not really get there. They do have a Boulder Branch they can prototype to gain 3 and it's a chump blocker. Plains. Well, we'll just swing with the team. They can block the Aerialist, but I can Sword Training it. I don't have a way to make it have flying, so I figured this would make the most sense. But they're just going to block here, absorb as much damage as possible. Could still Sword Training. I think it's fine. I think we'll just let it go. Gain 5, deal them 2. I'll play Skyguard and Trailblazer. Still holding up the Lauren's Escape or the Sword Training. Alright, we win that one. Definitely a bit rough draws from them. We're just gonna send it back and hope we get maybe an actually decent hand, because if they have a decent hand, I fear that a hand like that would not have done enough for us. Hand is decent, except no creatures. A one-lander I'm not going to keep, seeing as I only have 2-drop creatures. They're also mulliganing to 5, though, but I think we're down to 4. We could probably have a better 4 than they could have a 4. But yeah, I mean, this is not keepable. This one I can do Remote Farm, Guiding Voice, Homestead Courage is the most value. Ethereal Armor doesn't look great right now. This becomes a 5/5, and then I would have this to flashback and the Sword Training. Either that or I keep Plains, Skyguard, 1 Courage, and it's slower, but my top decks are better. Because I will need to top deck a land, but I'll have gas. So if I top deck a land, I think I keep the Remote Farm here. I don't know. Not usually the way that I like to use Remote Farm is just like keeping this on a mulligan, but a huge mulligan. I just don't think I can get rid of 2 spells there. Keeping 1 Plains even. I could have split the difference and done that. That just seems pretty bad too. They do get an Expedition Map 1 turn late, which is awkward for them. I get a Trailblazer, which actually has more likelihood to survive against a Pinnacle Killship if they do have that in a couple turns. I could immediately Guiding Voice it, so it's got 6 toughness. Next turn I can make it 10 toughness, which is not quite enough, but if I draw 1 Plains, it would be bigger. It's on the ground, though. Could get blocked. I think that we gotta play around the Killship if we can. If we just get a Plains, we could be in a very okay spot here. They, of course, crack the map, in the upkeep even, so they don't draw, less likelihood to draw a tower or whatever. Play a Prism. Not a bad one. Hyena Umbra. Okay, that gives us protection against a kill ship. We're going to Homestead Courage. I mean, we can hit for 6. It's a 6/10. It's pretty decent. It can block pretty well. And if I get a Plains and can start playing Spirit Link and stuff, I might be okay. But it also depends on what they have. If they just start playing Maelstrom Colossus into some other stuff, we're probably going to fall behind. But that's what a Mulligan to 4 does. Serene Heart. Destroy all auras. Well, I guess that's bad. And then they have Kill Ship. Well, sideboard absolutely wrecked us. Unfortunate. Well, we're not gonna play 3 more matches to maybe get 1 point. So I hate dropping from leagues, but this is not what we're here for right now. We're gonna do more White Heroic. It served us well first league. Let's just go again. I just need to get a 4-1, which is, you know, tough. If we get a 3-2, I can go for another 3-2, but I'm not gonna start 0-2, so we have to win 3 matches and all we get is half of what we need. If we end up with a 3-2 after like a 3-1 or whatever, then that's fine. That first trophy was great to get, but it's going to be a real pain if it takes forever to get the last 2 points. We're so close. All right, we have no creatures. We have no lands. Come on. I guess after the trophy, maybe I should have swapped to Red Rally. We're down to 5. This one's okay. We'll get rid of... I mean, I think we get rid of Spirit Link, although if we're against red, we're going to wish we had it. And an Aerialist, because it has protection, so hopefully... that'll keep it alive, and then we can buff it with the other stuff. I don't know. Opponent also went mulligans to 5, so we're not out of it yet. Or we're not dead yet. I don't know. Play a remote farm and pass. Escape Tunnel means probably the Boros Tribe deck. That's my guess, which is pretty uninteractive, so that's a good sign for us. Skyguard, actually. They are pretty uninteractive. Maybe I just want a Skyguard. They do probably play Lightning Bolts, though, don't they? Just Lightning Bolt could take this out. I think we'll chance it. I don't know. Guiding Voice becomes a 3-3, so it dies to 1 Lightning Bolt. If they don't have the bolts right away, I can grow it though, and it just gets a lot bigger than the Aerialist. The trade-off is Aerialist protects itself a lot better, but I don't know. Tough call. They would have to play a bolt instead of like playing a 2-drop they probably want to play though. Spirit Mascot. Yeah. Homestead Courage. Definitely doing a Courage. I could also Ethereal Armor. That only pumps a little bit. I think I'd rather play the Aerialist while I can. And then I can like armor that and we have 2 big attackers. Play that and pass. They have a Tireless Tribe, so they could combo next turn potentially, although they're low on cards. Actually, it makes that pretty tough, not impossible. They could also have Prismatic Strands they get to discard, but it's probably not something we need to play around. If they have it, it'll just buy them a turn or whatever. Plains would probably be our best draw, because then I get to play 2 spells. Blessing, I think I'd rather just get Vigilance here. Hit for 9. Actually, it's only 8 because I'm not pumping this. Yeah, it's probably worth it to get the flying. Although the fact that they gain just like 2 life off these Pursue the Past cards is going to be relevant, because if I hit for like 9 next turn, they've gained a couple life, it'll be just short. They discard an Eidolon to the Tribe. Might as well, because it grows the Mascot. Swing with both. I think I have to block Tribe, because if they have Inside Out, they draw a card, which is 4. So they probably don't have Unblockable for the Tribe, but if I don't block, I could just die here. So we're definitely blocking here, because they would have Xaxes. Eidolon comes back, Inside Out. Yeah. Alright, play a land, flashback, Pursue the Past. Get back Eidolon, gain 2 life. If I get an untapped land, Plains, I can Sword Training here for 11, exactly. If I don't, I'm not gonna have lethal, unfortunately. Which means I could die to the combo next turn. So give me a Plains. Perfect. And they don't have a creature to flash the Prismatic Strands back, so this is just lethal. Alright. That could have been a close one, although we both mulligan super low, so maybe not. Not sure what removal they're going to have. I don't know if Macabre is relevant enough to have here. I could Gut Shot, because if they flip its power and toughness, I get to just kill it. And Prismatic Strands wouldn't help that. Probably worth it for 0 mana. Lifelink could also just make it almost impossible for them to combo. Shield of Law and Grace makes it hard, so they can't really block. Might be better than these. Not sure we need the life links, to be honest, but like, if we get 1 or 2 big hits in, their ability to kill us is just really low. Vigilance is good. Maybe we cut the Guiding Voices, though they were decent here. Leave 1, I guess. Leave 1, I guess. Alright, we have a 1-lander. It's got Trailblazer, Mask, Sentinel's Eyes, Spirit Link. I mean, it's kind of all the pieces we need, except 1 land. It's really slow for if they have kind of a fast combo, and they do keep a 7-lander, 7-card hand. Not a 7-lander, I assume. It's not great, but I don't think it's a mulligan. They have Tribe immediately. Luckily for us, I have Trailblazer, which means I don't die on turn 1. Probably just die on turn 2, I guess. We probably die on turn 3. Garrison, bounce the Plains, pass. Another Mask of Law and Grace. I'm going to assume that's probably not super relevant, and I'm going to Sentinel's Eyes to start getting some damage in, I guess. Like, if they have double Bolt, I guess Mask would have been better, but Spirit Mascot, Plains, Give me a plains. Perfect. I think I want to start spirit linking immediately, because if the more life we have, the less likely it is we die to the tribe in one hit. If I gain 5, it's pretty good. I think Mask of Long Grace is probably not as important now, plus High Number can do that. So this can give unblockable versus these later, but I don't think I care if they want to chump this early. I'm gaining 5, pretty nice. Alright, pass. I have Pursue the Past, discarding a Crag, and another Pursue the Past, discarding a Snacker this time. Mask of Long Grace gives pro black, so I won't be blocked by Snacker, so I'm not worried about that. Another Mask of Long Grace. So I could Mask and Sentinel's Eyes. We get in for 8 damage instead of 5. Not that big of a difference. I think I'd rather just play the Aerialist, which I can start pumping next turn as well. So let's swing for our 5, play Aerialist, and if it doesn't die to a Bolt or whatever, we can give it a Mask next turn. They just pass. I feel like they might have a Strands here or something. Blessing could give pro white, which could be relevant later. I think for now, they didn't even draw 2 to get back Snacker, and I'm going to Mask this, see if they want to like Bolt and kill it. Bolt and pay Ward or something. I swear I've seen these decks playing Bolt, but maybe they don't all do that. I don't know. Lightning Axe. Discarding another Lightning Axe. Okay. Paying the Ward. It's dead. Now we'll put a Mask on this guy, which is the guy we care more about anyway. Now they can't chump with the Spirit Mascot, so it's got to be the Tribe, or, you know, just take it. We go to 36, pass the turn, pass to them. Flashback, Pursue the Past, gaining some life, getting back Snacker, discarding a Snacker so they get 2 back. Mascot gets a lot of counters. I need a land so I can play Sentinel's Eyes, Blessing on white, and just hit them for lethal. If I don't get that, they can chump with the Tribe, which is still fine. I mean, I could still cast Blessing to make it so it's pro-white, but then it's not lethal. It's 1 short. We do get the plains. So Sentinel's Eyes, I will now Blessing for white. Not going to regret it. And they could have a Strands, but that's only going to save them for like 1 turn. Well, 1 per. And we'll swing for 9. They do have the Strands. Okay. Flash it back. I guess if they can gain a couple more life from like a Pursue the Past, which they have in their graveyard, they could survive for another turn, because this is 9 power and I can't buff it anymore. Locked in at 9. They'll swing with 1 Snacker. They might not know this as pro-black, or maybe they have like a Thraben Charm or something for it. Otherwise, they should probably just swing with both Snackers, but... Flashback, Pursue the Past. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to kill him. Not yet, anyway. Ethereal Armor, can't grow their guy. I mean, our guy. Swing for 9. They go to 1. We go to 43. They cast Faithful Saluting, discard Snacker and another Strands. I mean, they're surviving, which is annoying. I'm just not sure how they're planning to win. I guess the Snackers. Attack for 4. You got it. And I think they forgot to flashback Strands, or they realized it was inevitable that they were going to die. So we take the first match. All right, we get a pretty reasonable one with some actual... decent mana, creatures, spells. What is this? Something blue, remote farm, pass, familiars? Might have a prohibit or something. I think we're gonna start with a Skyguard, because if they have prohibit, I'd rather they use it on this and then they snap is harder on this, but I guess we'll Sentinel's Eyes here so that we don't lose anything of value if they do have like a snaps or something for it. Negate, that's totally fine. Probably is familiars, though, based off of seeing a negate in the main deck. Just another plains. I do want to get down Aerialist, but I also want to grow this and play Blessing, or hold up Blessing for this. Let's just Aerialist, see if they counter it or anything. And then attack for 2. They prohibit it. So I think I Blessing now, and they shouldn't be able to do anything if I give pro blue. No snaps. No counter spells. Most all their creatures are blue. All the flying ones. Sideboard, they probably have like Last Breath and stuff, but for now, I think we're fine. Preordained, 2 to the bottom. Chancery. Ethereal Armor. Yeah, most damage quickly enough is Ethereal Armor plus Sentinel's Eyes. Might as well do it from the grave. Hit for 9. We should have enough damage even through a Godfarer's Faithful next turn. They preordain and concede right there. Alright, should be an okay one. Snaps are the big thing we need to watch out for, so we get Lord's Escape and Shield of Duty and Reason. We don't need Spirit Links. Vigilance is pretty unimportant as well. So let's cut a Courage and a Sentinel's Eyes, I guess. No, we don't need to cut that many. Sentinel's Eyes can stay in. Sentinel's Eyes buffs more with the armor, but it also buffs less because it doesn't flash back. I think that's probably fine. Yep, 5 more protection spells. If I had a second land, I would keep this in a heartbeat. This one I can't justify because we don't have protection and they're a deck that plays snaps, like religiously. This has no protection, but it does have playable creatures. We gotta keep this one, unfortunately. I think Sentinel's Eyes is the worst. We really need to find protection spell. Lauren's Escape is good. That is protection. They play a Chancery. This would be the turn to put like Benevolent Blessing on it. We don't have that. I'm going to attack for 0 and just play a Skyguard. They have a Familiar. Snap the Skyguard. I mean, they didn't do it when it had a bunch of stuff on it, but still pretty annoying. Shield of Duty and Reason. I feel like that gets countered pretty easily. So does Skyguard. I think we just try it. Skyguard and then Remote Farm, and next turn I play some stuff. They got nothing. I guess they might Medium Minds here. No, they Thraben Charm the Skyguard. Fair enough. Familiar's got hands. I don't know where, but somewhere in there. They only have 3 cards in hand. They're not doing much. I play Shield of Duty. They try to snap it. I Lauren's Escape. Then they counterspell and we lose? Well, it gets snapped. We don't lose. It's just bad. Well, we gotta try, I think. Shield of Duty and Reason. Snap. We'll go for the Lauren's Escape. They have the Last Breath. Yeah, that's worse. If this was bounced, I would have it at least. That was the one I was worried about. If we get another creature, they're pretty low on cards. Maybe we'll be okay. Yeah, I mean, they're very low on cards. They're going to have 1 from this Oracle. But if I don't get creatures, I can't do anything. I could Guiding Voice on them to, like, draw a card from a Airbending lesson, but that seems terrible. Muldrifter. Great. I mean, they kind of just had way too many interaction spells, you know? I think it's a little unfair that they drew 2 snaps, a Last Breath, of Thraben Charm. That's just too much. Faithful, then Preordain. Scry 1 to the top. Archaeomancer. Alright, we're dead. That was, I think, very lucky of them to have pretty much every single answer, but so be it. Yeah, we'll keep this one. Remote Farm, and then I can do Shield of Duty and Reason immediately on either Trailblazer or Aerialist. Which one's better? It still just gets Last Breath, but Trailblazer deals so much more damage. I think it's got to be Trailblazer, even though it gets Last Breath really easily. Sentinel's Eyes. Pass the turn. I just don't think Wonderweave Aerialist is doing enough. I mean, I guess it could have been a 5/5 with these other things, but that's not great. Preordain, scry 2 at the bottom, Landscape, crack it, shuffle those scried cards back to the top. We'll play Wonderweave Aerialist. I think we're just going to Homestead Courage this twice and just really hope they don't have the Last Breath. Wonderweave, just, I don't know. The ward is good. Doesn't feel like quite what we need here. We just need speed. That's my hope anyway. Sunscape Familiar. Okay, so they can't Last Breath. We just draw a Plains. That's not great. Swing. No blocks. We got a free attack in here. And they're at 4. Here's hoping we can pull it through. I mean, this can chump block if they need to, if I don't get protection from white. So even if they don't Last Breath, we're not winning unless if we get some other stuff. Seagate Oracle. I mean, like a Ethereal Armor on the Aerialist would jump this for 5. That'd be pretty good. Benevolent Blessing would obviously be good too. Either one they could maybe counterspell, but play an island. Godfarer's Faithful. That they can chump with, keep the Familiar. That's annoying. We do get the Ethereal Armor. Well, hopefully no counterspell. Of course they have it. Lucky. I could attack both. They gotta chump this, and they can just block with the Oracle, so that doesn't matter. Oh, they once again just take the Aerialist, so the bluff attack worked twice so far. I really didn't think it was going against the Oracle, but I guess if all they have in hand is like flicker effects, they really need it. Another Oracle, but that's actually really good, because now this Aerialist just getting any buff could be lethal. It doesn't need to be in armor. And there was no danger to our Aerialist. This is why you always bluff attack if there's no downside. Another Familiar. Okay, they could have Ghostly Flicker on both Oracles, or I guess Oracle and a Familiar if they want to keep it alive. Now there is a downside, because they could double block with the Oracles and I lose the Aerialist, and that's not good. So we're just going to attack with the Trailblazer. They block with the Familiar. They Ephemerate it. Okay. Another Aerialist. Ephemerate was basically the same as Ghostly Flicker at that point, because they just still get a Oracle trigger. I mean, we're really close, but it could definitely take control of this game. If they get a Last Breath on this and then, like, snap these, I mean, they still just have chump blockers. Like, ugh, so annoying. Just die already. Play an island. They have a Murmuring Mystic, which can offer blockers for these, even if they get flying, although not this guy. A Skyguard. Oh my gosh. Come on, give me something to jump these. We'll swing with the Trailblazer. I don't even know if I want to play a Skyguard because they could just counter it and it could give them a bird. Thraben Charm. Come on. Blow up our shield. Now they can jump with birds. Alright, well, we're going to play a Skyguard. If the last card's a counter, so be it. Archaeomancer gets Ephemerate. Chancery, so all they have is an Ephemerate. All they have, which can find Thraben Charm or Prohibit or just about anything. Benevolent Blessing. Well, that is something, I guess. If I swing with this and this, I guess it's not something, because if they get back Thraben Charm, then they can just blow up the Blessing. And if they cast Ephemerate, they make a bird for this. I could give Pro Blue to this, but that's not quite lethal. Same with this. It's one short of lethal if I get like a 2/2 flyer. Protection from blue. Combat. I guess I attack with the Trailblazer. Block with the Seagate Oracle. Pass the turn. I think I have to Blessing their Archaeomancer to give protection from white. Then this doesn't flicker, but then they have an infinite blocker. I mean, I have to, because otherwise they just infinitely prohibit or whatever, and I lose the game. So I have to do this. Give them a pro-white blocker, and then my goal has to be to jump a Wonderweave Aerialist or Skyguard and make that lethal. And I need them to draw nothing. If they just get like a Lorien Revealed or a Muldrifter, it's not going to matter. I mean, they pass. Maybe that means they got nothing. Sentinel's Eyes. Aerialist is harder to kill, I guess. So let's do that. I mean, they have the mana, but it's got flying. So if they bricked this turn and they brick next turn, have no spells, they chump with a bird and then they die next turn to the Aerialist. I could attack with a Skyguard. If they have nothing and chump here, they take one. But if they have anything, I'm kind of throwing away a Skyguard. So I think we just play it safe. They chump. We pass the turn. And we hope they draw nothing again. Play a land, but we knew they had that from before. And they drew 2 islands! Oh my gosh! The Benevolent Blessing worked! I almost always forget about the mode where you can target your opponent's thing, but that's incredible. I can't believe we won. Hey, that's playing to your outs right there. Giving them a permanent blocker to block our enormous creature. Oh, that was great. Alright, we have 4 lands, but we do have Wonderweave Aerialist with Sentinel's Eyes and Blessing. Is that good enough? They mulligan to 6? I say yes. Let's do it. I don't know. Blessing is really good. Like, oh, blue matchup makes me regret this a little more. Second Blessing is okay. Mono blue fairies, if we resolve a Blessing against this, and if we can resolve this, we might just win. Brian Barrow. Okay, so we can definitely resolve them Wonderweave unless they play Force Spike, which would be really unfortunate. No, they're just playing a Fairy Miscreant. Well, playing the Wonderweave and hoping for the best. We have the pieces to win the game, potentially. Sentinel's Eye, Vigilance, Protection and Combat, but First Strike's good. Blessing is pro-blue. If we can get them to tap low so Blessing resolves, then we should win. Like, if I Sentinel's Eyes and they spell stutter it, then I get to Blessing, and that's amazing. Discards the Brine Bearer, but doesn't get a land drop. So yeah, let's go with Sentinel's Eyes. If they just let it resolve, then I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to attack and pass. But if they counter it or tap out of their end step or anything, we're going to Blessing this. Maybe I should have made this target a little juicier for a spell stutter with like a Hyena Umbra. No, they counterspell it. Okay. Pro blue. And I'm only attacking for 2 and it doesn't have Vigilance now. So let's not, because I don't want to give them free attacks. But now I get to just, like, they probably shouldn't be able to bounce this guy if they don't have like boomerangs or something main deck. Just like before with the Dimir fairies, when I thought it was mono blue. Fairy Seer. I guess they could just go wide enough, but still seems tough. If I get lifelink, that would ensure it. Let's Homestead Courage for Vigilance. I can't Sentinel's Eyes quite yet, which is a little annoying. Hyena Umbra, which I think means I actually just want to not Courage again, because I might want to do it next turn, so that we have Vigilance again. Second Blessing, it's so unfortunate. Second Blessing against a monocolor deck is basically redundant. They are going to swing at the team. This only loots. I think I'd probably block a Fairy Miscreant so that if they ninja, I assume a ninja's coming, they don't get a free draw off the Miscreant. They ninja back the ninja. Yep. Oh, just that. Okay. I feel like if you're only going to ninja back one ninja, you'd probably just do a Fairy Seer, but I guess they just want the ninja to be there. Fair enough. We do take 4. I mean, we could die. Like I said, if we get lifelink, we will probably never lose, but if we don't, we could definitely die. Another Homestead Courage. I could Courage and then waste the flashback so I could Sentinel's Eyes for permanent Vigilance, but I lose some counters. Well, we might as well just cast this to see. If I Sentinel's Eyes now, I exile both of these, and this is a 6/6, or is I could just double Courage it. It's a 7/7, which is not quite lethal in 2 turns. We know they probably have a spell stutter or something. I think I do one more courage. Now they're going to spell stutter it. Yeah, I guess that's annoying. One more courage for damage, but the reason I want to have vigilance next turn too. Yeah, all right, we'll just attack for 5. Pass. I mean, like I said, we could lose. We're not in a terrible spot. Now we block the spell stutter. They do Ninja Fairy this time. I also think they should have just done that because more damage, which could be very relevant. We could be one lower at this point. Discard Snap, because that doesn't matter. Yeah, we might just fall a little short. I mean, if we get one more damage from our Courage with Vigilance, but they could have a counter spell for it. Guiding Voice, all right. I guess I really need Vigilance, though, dang. Because if I do if I Courage and they counter that and I Guiding Voice and I attack, I guess I could Airbend, so I wouldn't die to one of these. Maybe that's fine. That's Courage. There's the Spell Stutter. I get to Guiding Voice. It's a 6/6, which is going to be lethal next turn anyway. They don't gain life, so I should just take Airbending Lesson so that I don't die to what they have on board. If they have double Ninja, I guess I die, but so be it. Because they have 7 damage. Airbend right now while they're tapped out, this guy. They can cast it, but they can't... oh, and now the Sentinel's Eyes is online. That's funny. They can cast it, but they can't ninja it. So they need to have 2 more ninjas in hand to be able to deal... Or like a mutagenic, I guess, if they're playing that, to deal 2 additional damage. Otherwise, we should just kill them. This is the first time the Airbending Lesson has felt very powerful. Like, it literally is saving us here. Before, it's always just been kind of medium. Fairy Seer 2 to the bottom. Did we get there? They're going to loot, see if they can find anything. Yep, they're at 2, but I don't know what they can find. Discard an island. All right, that was a close one. Closer than I thought it was going to be, but we got there. So we do get the Shields of Duty and Reason. Gut Shot can prevent a spell stutter, so I think that's probably worthwhile. Lauren's Escape. So that makes me think, like, they actually had a lot of creatures, and we still didn't need the Spirit Link. So it would have been okay. I wouldn't have had to sweat as much, but the chances they have that many creatures that quickly, I feel like, is a little low. I don't know. I feel like the Spirit Links are maybe not necessary. Seeing as in what I would consider a little bit of an outlier, they had like 1 or 2 more creatures than I expected them to have. Spirit Link still wasn't necessary. I think it's probably fine without. Guiding Voice was good, but I think we can cut those 2. Yeah. For a little while, I was like cutting Blessings for like shields because, oh, it's an upgrade. It's, you know, better cards, but I've realized that just like protection from your opponent's color is just incredible. Wins you the game right away. For example, I don't think we can do this. I think it's too risky this time because I could like turn 2 Trailblazer shield Sentinel's Eyes, but it doesn't even have flying. That would be 4 damage. So it'd be a 5-turn clock from there. 5-turn clock from turn 2, so like turn 7. But also if they just have a snap in response or a counter spell, it's really bad. I think we got them all again. This one, if the Wonder Weave gets countered, we lose, but I think it's good enough. And I think we go all in on the armors and hope that Ward can keep us alive until we find a shield. Okay, second Aerialist helps a little bit. They flash into Brine Barrow, and, well, we're going to cast one. If they got the counter spell, they got it. Force Spike. Yeah, I said they might have those. Attack for 1. Ugh. I mean, we get Force Spiked or counterspelled, but am I going to wait till I get a Plains? I feel like I might just draw another... I'm almost as likely to draw another creature as I am to draw another land. I think this just makes more sense. For example... Ugh, double Force Spike, brutal. They flash in a Spell Stutter. Our hand is incredible. Well, no protection, so it's a lot of damage if we find a creature, and then also it doesn't get countered or bounced, which is another way of saying I think we've lost. Fast, decisive games. That's what I wanted. Okay, that's protection. That's really good. They're only dealing a couple a turn. Now 3 a turn. I have like 1 to 2 turns to find something, and they need to not have a counterspell, which they flashed out a spell stutter, so the chances they don't have a counterspell are almost infinitesimal. Of 1 mind, creature. I'll give it 1 more draw. Don't think it's going to be good enough regardless. Brine Barrow, swing for 4. They have a ninja with a spell stutter. Yeah, we're dead. Ugh, the 4 spikes were very unfortunate. Well, we're not going to get 4 spiked. We have 2 creatures, but that's it. Unless we draw like 5 buff spells in a row, I feel like we lose here. I think we got a mulligan. Alright, this one's better. Do we get rid of a land or a creature? If I get rid of a Plains, I feel like Remote Farm's not going to carry us enough. I think I gotta get rid of a Skyguard. Play this and pass. They're going to lead on a Fairy Seer, so no Force Spike, which I can play around anyway, but it's still nice to know. Just give me the Shield of Duty and Reason. A Guiding Voice. Okay. I got a Wonder Weave for protection. Well, so it's protected. Guiding Voice. I think we take the Sword Training. We have a blocker. They can't snap it, so they can't ninja, which is decent. They did discard 2 to the top, which is annoying. If I attack with this, I don't have Vigilance, so then they can get in. If I cast anything here, they could Spell Stutter it. I kind of think I just pass, which is really bad. Waiting around gives them time to find mana. For the ward, they Spell Stutter. But, like, I think I just Sword Training, because, like, what does this +2/+2 do for me? I'd rather just draw a card, I think. And yeah, we're going to pass again. I mean, I missed the land drop, which is good for us, but not sure how long this can last. I mean, as they hold up counter spells, as long as they hold up counter spells, if I get 2 protections or whatever, that could be good. Guiding Voice, Remote Farm. None of this does anything. Oh, gosh. Like, even if I bait them with Skyguard or whatever, like what? I Umbra and Guiding Voice this, I get a Airbending Lesson, which is basically useless, and then they can just snap this at some point and I just lose. Drawing every land in my deck. Perfect. If I got, when they were stuck on 2, if I could have just gotten like 2 Shields of Duty and Reason or something, then I would have been okay. 1 to get countered, 1 to resolve. Maybe I could have even baited them with one of these. I don't know. We'll block a Spell Stutter. They got a Ninja. Spell Stutter back in hand. Still missing land drops is nice though. They got a discard. 4 Spike. There's the Blessing. So now I Skyguard and Guiding Voice on this lesson. I think I just Hyena Umbra this as well. If they want to bite on any of this, then I get to Blessing it. And if not, I get to start hitting for 5. And even if they find a snap and pay 2 for it and then pay the ward, I can still, they'll be tapped out for a second that I could Blessing it to protect it. So that's still decent. Of one mind. Harrier Strix. Okay, taps the Skyguard so they can get in. I could like airbend their Hacker, but they only have 1 mana. I could try to go for a Blessing, but they could just have a Null, so it's probably not worth it. We'll take it. I don't know. Like, they'll probably play a land set post-combat if they find one, but they left themselves with just 1 mana, which means it could have been a mistake or they could have just not had. They wanted to do this, and they do have the Annul? I don't know. They discard a Spell Stutter, which is crazy, but I guess their mana's tight. They're getting rid of 2 drops. Okay, they're going to discard Miscreant. We get another land. I could airbend this so I can hit for 6. Gets them another tap, but that's fine. It draws me a card too is the big thing I like. I could airbend the Moon Circuit Hacker just so they loot less. That's probably better actually. Shield of Duty and Reason. Okay, perfect. Green and blue. Yeah, so we'll do that. And if they have the Annul, we have a Blessing. And hope they don't have something else. This is a 3-turn clock. Guess I'll leave back Skyguard because probably isn't relevant. They could definitely have, I don't know. I don't know what like boomerangs or something they would have in the sideboard. Snap the Skyguard. So yeah, I mean, they're just snapping. They just got to go for it because this is a 2-turn clock. They have to kill me, not this turn, but next turn of theirs, which seems very tough. Swing for 2. Sentinel's Eyes. I'll play Skyguard. Luckily, Sentinel's Eyes is incredible. Vigilance is great. And also, if they wanted to counter that, then it would just come back. But Vigilance is going to make it very hard for them to win on this turn, which is what they need. All right, we win that match. Closer than I thought for that whole match, but it was a fun one. They did get stalled on lands for a very long time, which did help. But also, we drew so many lands, which helped. Whoever said that screw beat Flood? Not that I know of. All right, I know I keep risky 1-landers, but it's only when I have a 1-drop creature, which we don't have, so we're not going to keep that one. Obviously not going to keep that one. This one we'll keep. Opponents have been mulliganing a lot with me recently, which I appreciate. If I go to 5, you should have to go to 5. It's only fair. All right, do I keep 1 creature or 1 land? I could keep just a remote farm. We could Skyguard and then maybe even buff the Skyguard with both of these. Or I could keep this and this, and I could Skyguard Guiding Voice right away. Or I could Trailblazer, which survives a lot more matchups. We're getting rid of a plains either way. I guess I could keep 2 plains. Start with a Trailblazer. Is that better actually this time? Usually it's better to do the remote farm, but I could just start with the Trailblazer, Ethereal Armor. But then we're getting rid of what? Skyguard? So it's more reliable. Trailblazer, this, pump. Yeah, I think I do that, actually. And hope that we're against, like, red that can't kill a Trailblazer, and then we gain lifelink. Okay, that's a start. Tomb Raider in. Another Trailblazer, just in case they do get, like, this to die this turn. That'd be cool. I'm not going to block, that's for sure. Not this turn. Snow-Covered Mountain. What if I'm playing Thermal Karst? Clockwork Percussionist. They get to swing. I mean, I could block and absorb a Lightning Bolt. They're at 2 cards, but I think I'd probably just take it. Then they Chain Lightning us. We're at 12. If we get Spirit Link, we just win, probably. Guiding Voice. So let's just play a Trailblazer and a Guiding Voice. We're not going to attack yet, because 2 damage on them is not worth 2 damage on us. Plus now I have a blocker with power, which means they can't attack freely. Reckless Impulse, I mean, that's pretty good for them right here. Percussionist and a Mountain, which they play. So we just want to build one of these up enormously so that if we get to lifelink or protection from red, we can pretty much just win on the spot. I would love to have another one with power, but I think that's just not the play here. I think we just Ethereal Armor and Hyena Umbra, and we're certainly not attacking when they have free chump blockers, not until we have lifelink or unblockable, which will hopefully be soon. They just play a Mountain, so they're drawing some lands, which is good for us. And they have a Burning Tree Emissary. Sentinel's Eyes. Vigilance is good, but we do start drawing them cards with the Percussionists, so is that even worth it? Probably. We have to get through them at some point. I could also just pass, hold up Sokka's Sword Training so we could block this, or get a clue to draw a card. I don't know. I think we just keep growing. Guiding Voice gets our other lesson. I think drawing them cards is a mistake, because if they do get Rally into Bushwhacker, it's bad. I don't know. We have 4 Benevolent Blessings, 2 Emerge Unscathed, 4 Spirit Links. So we have 10 cards to draw for that win us the game within 2 turns of drawing them. They draw Burning Tree Emissary. They are getting a lot of creatures too, so a little worried about them going wide. Plains. I mean, I can Airbending Lesson something now if they do get attackers. All right, I'm going to start attacking here. We have 10 cards that we're looking for, which is 1 in 5, but the chances that we hit them all, it's possible we will not hit them soon enough. So I can't just wait around forever. So yeah, I don't know. They got a Fire Blast, so that's a lot of damage to us. And they just play a Mountain because they might as well since they're about to Fire Blast. They could Fire Blast the Trailblazer, but I get to Sword Training it and they know we have that, so that probably doesn't make a lot of sense. I would love for them to do that, but yeah, they just go face with it. I could just Airbending the Clockwork Percussionist here. I draw a card, I use my mana, I make it so they have to chump with something else. I think it's kind of goofy, but I think it's worth it. Drawing a card is the big thing. Blocker. Alright, we'll swing. Block with a Burning Tree. Play an Aerialist. So they can just cast the Clockwork next turn, although it does cost 2. So if they draw a 2-drop, Reckless Impulse alongside it, they might not be able to do both, but they just drew a land, so that didn't matter. I mean, I got them to chump with one of these guys, it's fine. We're in an okay spot. They still need 8 damage on us. Remote Farm. Well, we'll swing with the Wonder Weave Aerialist as well, because we have a Sokka Sword Training if they want to block. I can just buff it. Although I guess they're at 20, so maybe they should just take it, but they don't, so let's get a clue here. Percussionist turns up a Mountain. Pretty lucky for us. Pass the turn. They have a 3rd Burning Tree Emissary. There's the Spirit Link. Alright. Well, I think that's going to be game then. And perfect timing. And a Benevolent Blessing. Spirit Link and Pro Red. Well, who needed them anyway? We pretty much had won the game. Pretty close to won the game anyway. We get another lifelink. The Masks of Law and Grace. Exchange for Guiding Voice is not the best thing ever. Lauren's Escape might also be decent. I mean, to be honest, the Doomed Traveler is not terrible. Just blocks. Maybe Lauren's Escape isn't necessary, but I think Doomed Traveler could be okay. Spirit Link and Benevolent Blessing with a bunch of creatures. We had to wait 20 turns for these last game. We will definitely keep this one. Could be a bit awkward because we play Aerialist on 2 and we don't have anything to play for 1 because I don't want to Spirit Link on an Aerialist that they could just Lightning Bolts, but the following turn I could just Blessing it and Spirit Link. That'd be fine. They start with an Epicure and a Synth. Feels like they might not have a second land then, or just not much else to play. Okay, they do have the land, and they turned up a Percussionist, so that's not bad. Swing for 2. Homestead Courage, okay. Aerialist, and I think I just Courage right away. They could Bolt it if they have a land and a Bolt, but if they don't, then it's just bigger next turn for Spirit Link, which is pretty good. And if they do Bolt it, then play another one, or Skyguard or something. They do have the Mountain, Tomb Raider, and Bushwhacker. Okay, so it's a 3/3, which is also good just because I can block here. We're going to take 7 down to 10. Plains is great because that means I can Homestead Courage, Spirit Link, and Blessing. Although I'm not sure I even needed the Blessing when it was 4. Nah, they could have had a Galvanic Blast. I don't know. A 4/4 that can't die, can't get blocked, gains us 4 life. Feels like it's worth protecting. Well, I guess part of that was the protection, but I don't know. Seems tough for them to win now. Ren's Resolve finds Rally and Galvanic. I guess I don't have protection from Rally, but any way for them to pump it other than Bushwhackers I can protect from. Galvanic at us. I guess it only had Vigilance for that turn, so yeah. I mean, we're going to still attack, obviously, because it gains us 4. They can't block it. And then I'll play another Aerialist. They do another Impulse, turn up another Rally and another Impulse, and they Chain Lightning this Aerialist with Ward. They didn't hit lands, so yeah. I think they're giving up, or maybe they didn't realize this had Ward. Swing with the Tomb Raider, we'll take it. Hyena Umbra means that we have a 2-turn clock on them here. Swing for 7, gain 4, up to 16. Alright, we win that match. This means we've gotten the points that we needed. Even if we lose this one, we'll have gone 4-1, which gets us 2 points. And our trophy got us 5, so that's 7, which is nice because it's been a little bit. I'll show the time when we finish up, but didn't want to be going till midnight or anything, so that's nice. Alright, last round here, and we have triple protection and a Trailblazer. I mean, it seems decent, like remote farm too. Obviously, we need some ways to deal it, to actually pump it and deal damage, but we have ways to give it 4 counters already. Lotus Petal Forest, so probably Spy. Masked Vandal, well, that's going to be really annoying. Double Masked Vandal, come on. Overgrown Battlement, well. I don't know why I played this Plains. I might have wanted to play the Remote Farm, because I think I just want a double Trailblazer. I could play 1 in Blessing, but what does that matter? I don't want a Blessing at Sorcery Speed when they can just Vandal it. Yeah, I should have done the Remote Farm. I might just cast the Emergent Scathed for counters, seeing as we're going to Blessing. They have a somewhat fast start. I mean, they had a lot of stuff, but they used up some resources like Lotus Petal just to get the Battlement out. Mass Vandals are good, but not the end of the world, I guess. Lead the Stampede. I feel like I have to start hitting for damage, though. I think I need to Emergent Scathe. Well, they also just turned up Spy, Spy, Troll, and they have a Saiga Wildling. So we're dead in 2 turns, I think. I don't think there's any way we can deal them enough damage in 2 turns, but we definitely need to cast this Emerge if we have any shot. Protection from green. Cast it on the same guy in case we get Spirit Link. Ethereal Armor is going to help, although they get to take that away potentially. We're going to Blessing now just to do some more damage. So 6, I mean, that's decent, but with Troll and then Vandal to take away the armor, maybe the Benevolent Blessing, which would be better for us actually. It's going to be tough. And then they just Spy us the next turn. I don't think we can do anything about it. It was a pretty fast start from them into the perfect Lead the Stampede, arguably. I guess they didn't need 2 Spies, so maybe that was a waste. Cycle Troll, play another Battlement into Masked Vandal, yep. They go for the Ethereal Armor, that makes sense. Most damage. Yeah, because they just Spy next turn. Well, that's not fair, I don't think. Pretty positive that's not fair. Blessing for 5 damage, plus they can just Vandal it away and Spy, whatever. We're dead. That's what happens when they have the perfect start. We get Fairy Macabres, but that's like it. I mean, I guess we get Masks of, or Shields of Duty and Reason. If we can gain enough life, I guess the Lifelink's actually probably relevant, because if we can gain enough life, they can't kill us with their combo. Hyena Umbra doesn't matter. They don't have a way to kill our guys. Emergent Scathed is unblockable, so that is decent. Vigilance doesn't matter, so get rid of Sentinel's Eyes, I think. Anything else we want to do? Doom Traveler, Gut Shot, doesn't feel necessary or good enough. Alright, let's see what we got. Alright, we have Skyguard, Spirit Link, Shield, Homestead Courage, Fairy Macabre. Yeah, I think this is a keep, because Lifelink could be good. Decent ways to pump. Protection's good, and then the Fairy Macabre. So, like, pretty ideal hand, I think. Because Macabre's obviously going to be good, but they could just have this again. They could just have Mesmeric Fiend for the Fairy Macabre, but the Lifelink helps. Yeah. Okay, well, I think that might be, like, the perfect start for them 2 times in a row. I guess if we lose, I'm not going to feel too bad about it. I think we also want to lead on the Courages, not the protection, or not the enchantments, because they can Masked Vandal those away. Not to mention, this doesn't matter unless they get a Reach or Flyer, and this doesn't matter until we have enough damage. Gate Creeper Vine. I would love just like a Plains, maybe a farm, but Plains would be decent. You get a Forest, Elves Deep Shadow. Wonder Weave. No, we're just going all in on this guy. So yeah, double Courage him, 5 damage. Next turn we could make it 9. Yeah, if I'd drawn the land, I could have made it 7 here. And then the next turn I probably could have made it 13. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess it would be a little short unless I draw the right card. Cycle a Troll for a Swamp. If they have one more Cycler, they could go for Spy this turn. Luckily, I have Fairy Macabre, so we wouldn't die, but yeah, they're just going to lead the Stampede. Double Vandal, Fiend. Come on, dude. Oh my gosh, the Vandals and the Fiend. So I don't have protection for their combo. I could Spirit Link, but they can take that away. They just cast a Hydra to block. So I know all but 1 card in their hand. So I probably need to give this shield this turn so they can't chump. but then they can Master Vandal it away. Although I can Fairy Macabre to make sure the Vandal doesn't go off. So I could just Spirit Link and Shield. We gain 7. Not sure the 7 is that relevant. Like, if the life gain is super relevant. I could just Homestead Courage. So if I deal 7, then next turn I could Courage. That's still lethal if I've kept the shield around. Yeah, I think we go for that. If they have another Cycler, the Macabre is not going to work. I already know the Macabre is not going to keep us alive through a Spy, so there's no reason to hold it for that, I think. If they have Spy, we lose anyway, that is. They're starting with Fiend, so that's not a good sign. So yeah, I think I just do this. Oh, they could take Homestead Courage and then I can't kill next turn. Well, it doesn't matter at this point. Exile those, and if they just have Spy, then we're dead. They do take the Courage. I mean, their last 2 cards need to be Way to Find a Land and Spy, or they need to just YOLO a Spy and get the land pretty low down. But they don't actually need to do anything. We could just not draw a way to pump this, and since we didn't pump it enough last time. Since they took the Homestead Courage, we could die to that. So that's unfortunate. I should have thought about that. That was all face up, so I should have played around it. Probably. Play a Vandal, just as a blocker, or I guess they could cycle in response. Yeah, just as a guy. And then they have a Spy. But they're going to YOLO it because they have a land left in their deck, but it doesn't matter because they hit 28 creatures. I assume they probably hit a Troll and a Dread Return. How lucky for them. I mean, we got the 4-1, so I can't complain, I guess. We got those 2 points we needed. We got 40, and I can now enter the championship. Super qualifier, showcase challenge thingy. But definitely still a little annoying. I think that Spy player got extremely lucky. Not just in the random Spy that they had to do, but also just in the first game. I guess we should draw a card, see if we were going to draw a way to kill them. No, doesn't work. Well, we got the points we needed. I will be playing in the Showcase Challenge tomorrow, and I will be recording that, and I think it'll probably go up tomorrow from when this video goes up, so watch out for that. I almost forgot to show it off. It took just over 3.5 hours to get to 7 points. That was 2 leagues and then that 0-2 drop that we had to do, which is a bit unfortunate, but trophy, 0-2 drop into 4-1, not as bad as it could have been, so I'm not too upset about it. Thanks so much to my supporters, including my $10 and up monthly supporters. If you want to support me on a monthly basis, you can do so on Menify, or you can do so by my YouTube memberships, where you can get access to my videos early. Thanks to my current $10 and up supporters, Howard Granger, JD MPX, Halcaz, Cody Cowell, Sty, DJ Vinyl, In Buns We Bust, and Brotaku BC. I really appreciate the support, and I will see you all next time.